German Driving License Theory Practice Exam Part 2. What should you do in this situation? I allow the pedestrian to cross the road. I pull up directly behind the blue vehicle. I wait this side of the pedestrian crossing until the blue vehicle has made the turn. If at a pedestrian crossing, a pedestrian clearly wants to cross the road, you must approach and wait at a moderate pace. When traffic is halting, you must not stop on a pedestrian crossing. In such a case, you must also keep T-junctions and intersections clear.
What must you be aware of here? Driving across the boundary line of the carriageway is prohibited at all times. Slower moving vehicles must use the hard shoulder if possible. It is not permitted to stop to the left of the boundary line of the carriageway. Never wait on the left of the lane mark. You would impede or even endanger subsequent vehicles. The side strip is designed for parking, waiting and slow vehicles. As a slow-moving driver, you must use such a sufficiently wide and well-fastened strip for driving. In this case, you may drive over the thick solid line with your vehicle representing an official lane boundary.
What applies here? The crossroads may be crossed. Turning off is prohibited. You must wait for further signals from the police officer before the crossroads may be entered. The traffic policeman's gesture dictates the behavior in traffic. If the officer stands lengthways to your direction of travel and you can see his profile, you can continue and turn right. Right-turning drivers should cross the intersection quickly, as long as no pedestrian or cyclist approaches them. If you want to turn left, enter the intersection to ensure undisturbed traffic flow and wait for the policeman's instructions.
You can watch the video 5 times. If you watch the video 5 times or skip it, you can't come back and watch it again. What is the right course of action now? I stop, switch off the engine and exit the tunnel via the emergency exit. Wait in the vehicle for the scene of the accident to be cleared. Leave the ignition key or transponder behind when leaving the vehicle. If there has been an accident in the tunnel, and if at least one car burns and there's smoke, you have to stop and leave your car. You can leave the tunnel via the emergency exit and follow the emergency lights. If none exist, you have to feel your way along the tunnel wall. Since the fire department may need to move your car away, the ignition key or transponder should be left in the car.
You can watch the video 5 times. If you watch the video 5 times or skip it, you can't come back and watch it again. What is the right course of action in this situation? I remain behind the tram. I drive past the tram on the right side. Overtake the tram on the left. As a car driver, you are obliged to respect public transport and its passengers. In this situation where the tram stops and there are people at the bus stop who have to cross the road to get in, the following applies. Stop behind the tram and wait for all passengers to get in or out.
From what height it is permitted for loads to project up to 50 centimeters in front of your vehicle? 2.0 meters, 2.5 meters, 3.0 meters. If your vehicle has a height of up to 2.5 meters, the cargo may protrude forwards by 50 centimeters. This cargo projection up to 50 centimeters is also permitted on trains and must never be exceeded in order to minimize the risk of injury in rear-end collisions.
You hear a siren. Which questions must you ask yourself? Where is the emergency vehicle coming from? Is this vehicle allowed to use a siren at all? Could I obstruct the emergency vehicle? If you hear a siren, you should first determine which direction the emergency vehicle is coming from. Then you have to consider where you can go, without hindering the emergency vehicle from continuing and without endangering yourself.
You can watch the video 5 times. If you watch the video 5 times or skip it, you can't come back and watch it again. What should you do? Slow down. Continue driving. The traffic light switches from green to yellow directly in front of you. Your speed is 45 kilometers per hour, so you're too fast in order to slow down and stop in front of the traffic light. There is also a truck behind you, which could hit you while doing an abrupt braking maneuver. Drive on briskly.
You double the speed at which you are traveling. How does this affect the braking distance? Answer: it is times as long. It is 4 times as long. It also depends on your speed. At twice the speed, the braking distance will be 4 times as long, from 9 meters at 30 kilometers per hour to 36 meters at 60 kilometers per hour.
Where is stopping prohibited? Immediately behind pedestrian crossings, on pedestrian crossings, and up to 5 meters before pedestrian crossings, over manholes and other road covers. On and up to 5 meters in front of a pedestrian crossing, you must not stop because you obstruct the clear view of other drivers on pedestrians. These could then be recognized too late. After a pedestrian crossing, you may stop. Waiting is allowed on manhole covers, but not parking.
What is the maximum distance a load may project backwards beyond the rear reflectors without a projection marker being necessary? The lighting or the brake light signals the end of the vehicle. With this, you estimating the correct safety distance. If a protruding object of the vehicle in front of you is visually marked, it protrudes at least 1 meter.
What are you obliged to do if you are involved in a road traffic accident? I have 2. Provide aid if anyone has been injured. Secure the scene of the accident. Stop and determine the consequences of the accident. After an accident, the car driver and all other participants must stop and inform themselves about the consequences of the accident. Immediately take care of securing the scene of the accident to avoid further damage. Then administer first aid to injured people.
Where must you wait? At the point where you can see along the intersecting road sight line closing parenthesis, a T, the stop line, level with the traffic lights. At the stop line, a traffic light in operation has priority over traffic signs, which regulate the right-of-way. Also, if there is a stop line, stop there and wait until you are allowed to continue.
The barrier of a level crossing inside a built-up area is closed. Where must you wait? Before the last beacon. Before the first beacon. In front of the St. Andrew's Cross. Trucks and vehicles with trailers, vehicles over 7.5 t permissible total mass are only required to wait outside of built-up areas behind the level crossing ATM ahead marker. Inside a built-up area, they have to wait in front of the diagonal crosses.
What is the permissible top speed generally in built-up areas? 50 km per hour is the legally prescribed maximum speed limit within cities. If this speed is exceeded, you will no longer be able to process information in time to react.
In your rearview mirror, you see the word Stop Police, Stop Police in red illuminated letters on the roof of a police car immediately behind your car. Who does this apply to? To you only. To all following vehicles. To all vehicles on the road. Since the request is displayed to the front and you are directly front of the police car, the request is addressed to you. You are required by law to follow the instructions from police officers.
Who is parked? Anyone who leaves his vehicle. Anyone who waits longer than 3 minutes at a closed level crossing barrier. Anyone who stops for more than 3 minutes. If the car driver deliberately stops the vehicle and stays there for more than 3 minutes or leaves the stopped vehicle, this is considered parking. The stopping and waiting in front of a gate is not considered parking, no matter how long it takes, because the break is due to traffic.
You can watch the video 5 times. If you watch the video 5 times or skip it, you can't come back and watch it again. What is the right course of action now? I carefully cross the tracks. I wait at the tracks. I wait in front of the level crossing. If there is a risk that you might come to a stop on the rails due to a traffic jam situation, stop in front of the diagonal cross and wait until you can safely and quickly cross the level crossing. Fatal accidents occur when a car standing on the rails cannot avoid the approaching train.
You would like to drive past a local transport bus, which has come to a stop at a bus stop. What must you be aware of? I have to drive past carefully. Watch out for oncoming traffic. Drive past maintaining sufficient space to the side. It is allowed to drive past a public bus that stops at a bus stop. When passing by, you will usually get into the traffic lane of oncoming traffic. Therefore, pay particular attention to oncoming traffic. It is still wrong to drive as close to the bus as possible though, because this way you might endanger pedestrians. It is not necessary to drive at walking speed, but drive very carefully.